like an elongation test. Go ahead and stand up for a second. So, and it's really interesting the way they look at this test, because when I read this test a long time ago, it's the way I stretch the muscle. But many times when you talk about, and I talked to you about this before, many times you see about people will do this to stretch the elbow extensors. They'll take the person's wrist and they'll just pull it down. But where does the person usually feel that? Here. Where are we really trying to elongate this? Here. So one of the things and this is what this book talks about, is taking the wrist, fully pronating it, flexing the wrist, and then taking the person and then extending them across their elbow, and they feel it, or they might be more provoked out here. Now I can take this and I can modify it. If I just flex the wrist in neutral and do this, I could alternately deviate it a little bit more. Okay? It's difficult to radially deviate this and do it at the same time, but you can try to do it. I can take the finger extensors and make his fingers into a fist, ball this under, something just snapped, and then check it that way too. It feels different in each position. But do you see what I'm getting after? And now this other thing, this Mills procedure was also used as a manipulation at one point in time, which I don't want you to do. But basically what they would do is take the person's hand like this, pronate them, and they would take a rapid movement in an anterior direction, and it was so-called pulling off the adhesions. It's not something that I would advocate at this point, okay? You might tear something, tear a nerve, it's just not good. So, but that's, if you look up, I believe they call it Mills procedure. Yeah, they have Mills test in there. But there's a test and there's a procedure, it's actual the movement of manipulation. So,
No, we're not doing
that was a lot of information. So what am I, yes, Paul?
Just a clarification related to Ken, they were talking about pushing through the muscle belly when you test. I think it's okay to palpate the muscle belly when you're resisting here, but you don't want to resist through the muscle belly if you push. Like for instance, if you're pushing on the corticobrachialis and you're checking,
That's
Oh,
not.
yeah.
that could have an effect
That's
on
not what we
you
were
pushing
talking about,
against the muscle belly and possibly inhibiting or even creating pain across the belly.
That's not
So
how
if
they do
you're going across another joint, I don't think there's a problem.
like that at all. No,
Yeah,
that was never.
I always thought it was cool. The other thing too is like a grade 1, what do you have to do to the muscle belly? You got to feel it for a trace, right? So you got to touch it. So it seems like it makes sense. I'll look it up. Okay, so what am I asking you to do? A lot. Number 1, I want you to test at the wrist, extensor carpi ulnaris, extensor carpialis longus, brevis, and communis, individually. Okay, that's number 1. And then I want you to do that little trick, the flexion trick. I want you to feel that, flex, and then check the finger extensors. Number 2, I would like you to elongate the extensor carpialis longus, brevis, ulnaris, and the communis. Elongate them passively across the elbow. Okay, that's number 2. And then number 3, we've already done this, but you can do the piano finger test, but we're actually doing that when we're checking the manual muscle test, okay? All right, so let's give it a try. We're going to walk around, see if you guys